Hello everyone, welcome back to A City Planner Plays City Builders. This is Philip, and again I am playing Cities Skylines, and we're building the beautiful city of Bluffside Crossing. And today, after looking at the comments and the feedback, I think I want to focus on tourism and its supported infrastructure. So that'll be namely mass transportation, airports, and things of that nature. I think it's really difficult to build a tourism industry without having a good mass transit system. So those go hand in hand, and airports are a big part of that. We also have access to a fairly good river network that has the ability to place some harbors, so we might do that as well. I want to start out though with the airport. And before I started the video, I scouted out some lands, and knowing this map now that we've done 7 episodes, you can probably imagine how difficult it would be to find a location suitable for an airport without a ton of terraforming. So let's back out for a second and take a look. So when you look around, this is the land on the riverbank is ideal for our tourist areas and our harbor. I don't want to get it too far away from where we would place those sorts of things, so I don't want to put it over on one of these hillsides. That would be way too far away. I could purchase a new area and put it over here, but again, not a lot of great amenities over here. Would have to funnel all of the tourist traffic through the industrial area we've built over here. Not ideal, especially when you look, you see that there's already a ton of traffic. Granted, we could add access to the highway system, but what I thought might be interesting would be actually building the airport on this bluff side over here. And if you take a look, we actually could place it fairly easily in one of these areas up here. So I think that's what I'm going to focus on to start out with, is getting a network ready to build it up here. The challenge is going to be getting down the hill. I think we're going to have to kind of meander down to our tourism area, which will be down here, and then find a way to cross. And we're going to want to link this area with high quality low stop frequency transit. So I'm thinking maybe a trolley line, and we're going to definitely want to make sure that we're able to touch this cable car stop so people can get up to the main part of downtown. It's going to be very important. Hopefully this fills in while we're doing that, so that it has power and operates. So the very first thing we need to start out with is, I do want to do a bit of terraforming up here. It's a little lumpy, which is pretty evident to see. I'm not opposed to doing a bit of terraforming to flatten this and make this a little bit more suitable for what we would look to do up here. So I'm going to just level this down a bit. So I'm going to take quite a bit of space for this. I'm thinking this could in the future be a good place to put a cargo airport as well, maybe opposite of the airport that we'll be building today. So let's smooth this out, make it look a little more natural. Okay. Now let's start with our basic road to get to the airport. So I'm thinking that we're going to want to come up the hill. And I might change what this road looks like in the future, but for now this will work. Now I want to smooth things out a little bit. I'm going to probably utilize some one-ways up here. So I've got some ideas about how to manage this. And why don't I just switch to that right now? I think I might have gone a little bit extreme on some of these curves, so let's take a beat. Go about halfway. Between the second mark proceed a little ways, and then mirror that. I shouldn't be too wed to this road going in, but I'm going to be a little bit wed to it. Okay, so now this is kind of the loop road. I'm going to fill this in with probably some parking and some commercial. And then get our airport built and then turn it off. So we don't have to pay for the maintenance while we're building everything else. All right, I like that. So what I'm thinking, when I was, thinking a little bit about this, I thought it might be fun to kind of branch off. And put some structured parking in here, as well as some just some basic parking lots. Okay, so we've got that started. Now I've got this great parking lot set. Oh, I don't have that set. Let's make sure that the roads actually make sense. Okay. So I think we could do... Well, actually, let's... Get a circulation road established. Get rid of some of these road guides because they're not going to be helpful right now. But they will be helpful now. And that is not right. All right, let's back up from there. Make sure we're using the same one. So I'll upgrade that to this type. A better idea will actually be building the two Otter Roads first. Might have to do something a little bit smaller inside. That's fine. It'd be nice to kind of mirror that look. So that's what we'll do. So let me extend these out. We can always delete what we don't need. Just for the time being, I'll extend those out. we will place that structured parking after. Add a nice little bit of separation there again. Not because it's necessary, but I think it's, from an aesthetic standpoint, pleasing. Okay. I don't really need these ends anymore, so I'll get rid of those. Ah, I see the way that's loading. Okay, so I need to change this actually. We do need those ends. Sorry for being putsy in this part. Kind of feeling some of this out as I'm going. So we're learning a little bit together here. All right, so we've got a way in. I think we could probably put 2 more of those in just for the look. I would have it. I find it difficult to imagine this ever being so heavily utilized that all of these ramps get filled, but I suppose you never know. Okay. So I like the look of that. Now, one of the things that I don't love about this pack is that I have to manually place all of the parking markers, but I think it'll go fairly quickly. So let's get it lined up. Plop. So if someone complains that they can't park here, they are not trying hard enough. Plenty of parking. All right, let's see. We have a smaller one as well. Want to overlap a little bit. Again, I apologize for this being putsy, but I think that the overall look is going to be outstanding once we're done with it. And we're almost done. Need a couple more over here. Okay, almost done. All right, we got that one little area So it might be kind of fun to put in some EV charging. I personally have an EV, so big supporter of EV charging. There we go. Now let's load it up with some trees by using the tree painter. Oh, actually, I want to fix this first. It's a pretty ugly junction. Ooh, meant to grab the building. Right. And now some trees to liven it up a little bit. Let's see. You know what? I'm thinking first, why don't we eliminate some of the trees in this area so we can do something a little more custom. Okay. Okay, let's follow the road up to the airport. So even though this isn't an international airport, I think by adding this little parking area, we're making it feel more substantial, making it feel more like an airport. You know, the city I live in isn't a huge city, but the airport certainly makes it feel bigger, and part of that is it actually has some substance in terms of amenities around it. Another thing we could do is some small scale targeted commercial, so I think I'll probably do a little bit of that too. Now, I know I'm not, recoing it, so I can't put a rental car place or anything like that in here, but that's the kind of thing you'd expect to see plop up in this sort of area. Okay. So now we need to find a way to get down this hill, and that's going to be our next fairly significant challenge. Without making it too hokey. Maybe since this is our tourist area, let's make sure that we are carefully considering the way everything looks. You know what? It looks like it actually might be easier to get down this hill than I had imagined, which is nice. All right, so I want to come up with the basic network down here for our tourist area. Now, one of the things I really would like to do would be to flatten this again. Part of the reason for that is I want things to really feel masterfully planned. I think that's one of the special things about tourist areas is it feels like attention has been paid to every single detail. And I want that same feeling here. while still having it feel natural. So artificial but natural. If that makes any sense. So I will kind of work. Let's take a look at how this looks without. Okay, and I'm going to put a ledge along there anyway, so I'm not overly concerned about this. I will finish the terraforming later. I think for the time being, I just want to get my backbone roadway network established. And I want to do something a little more decorative here. So I did pick up some assets that I think would be really special in this area. So I think I want to respect the geography that I've created while still creating something with some amount of symmetry. And obviously this is way too big for all of this to be tourism. I think I'm going to limit this to a couple blocks. Okay, I like it. Maybe we'll do one more block of this special street. And then from there, do a little bit more. I think a pedestrian street would be nice to have in this area as well. We don't want it to be an area where we're just pumping cars through it. That's not the goal. Don't like what that just did. I could probably fix that by placing that there. Okay, it's a little better. Let's do a little bit more fine terraforming. This appears to be about the length of 4 squares. So keep all my buildings on flat ground so they are level. Okay. And then let's see. Let's have a nice wall to smooth this out a bit. We can fix whatever we don't get exactly right inside of our Move It mod. Yeah, I don't like what it's doing there at all. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to move some of this in. Maybe I'll even start by getting this a little closer to where I expected it to be. Well, maybe not. that's really high. So let's take this down and try to get the ground to be level. That was the whole game plan anyway. Whoa! Some of the fun you can have with Move It sometimes. And it might actually, it might actually be easier to eliminate some of these and just replace them. Yeah, that's a lot better. It would be nice to get this closer. I'm wondering though if it is good enough. I'm thinking it might be. I like the way it looks. And I wonder if I'm just going to do more damage than good. And if that's the case, I'm not really interested in that right now. So let's get rid of some of these trees that are poking around. I also want to lower the terrain so we don't see any of this odd stuff poking up. Okay. And then I'll go back over this at the end and I will do a little bit of smoothing to again make it look a little more natural. Kind of weave that in a little bit. Oh, don't like what I just did there. This is underwater. It probably doesn't matter all that much. This does. Let's do a little bit more. We'll get this looking natural. Ah, that's nice, except for that spot. Not so nice. I am terrified to try to fix this. Okay, much better. All right, so we have that. We also need to have a river crossing, and I got a bridge that I'm really excited about to try to deploy it. We'll see how it works. To be a little more ginger with their placement than that. Still want to try to meet this at a 90 if I can, and then use our road guidelines to meet up. Slope too steep. Huh. It looks like I have the tree anarchy on still, so we might dip into the settings in a minute and take care of that, because I do not like the tree nonsense that's occurring right here. So hold on, bear with me for 1 second. pause. Okay, I think we have that taken care of now. Hopefully it's not too big of a problem over here. Probably need to take out some trees to remedy this. Huh. Oops. So that's one of the problems. I love tree anarchy because you can do a lot of cool things with it, but I do not love trees growing in the middle of the street. And we're going to be doing some stuff with trees here anyway. Again, trying to make it feel natural, but at the same time, incredibly manicured. Okay. I think we got them all there, so now let's try to meet up our airport road down to our new area. All right. So we've got a way down. Haha. Got buildings developing up here, even though there's nothing in terms of services for them. So I think I'm going to want to also think about harbor. At this point, let's see. We have for a cargo harbor. No, normal harbor. All right. Let's find our brick road again. This might be a challenge to connect up, but we're going to try. Not a challenge at all. And I shouldn't have said that. The danger of getting overly confident. Might need to start. Our tree anarchy is still on for some reason. That is frustrating. I will have to look at that a little bit later. Maybe if we extend this up just a little ways. Okay, now I'm feeling like we can do it. All right. So we have our tourism area set up. Since we have this extra bit of land that I wasn't expecting, bummer. So it's always a challenge with when you put up these walls to be able to actually build after you put them up, because they end up kind of obstructing everything. And they kind of control how things move. You see it taking my nice 90 and turning it into something a little less than. Okay. Just need to do a little bit of fixing here, but it's not all that bad. Nice little pedestrian walk there. Why don't we continue that up here. And what I like about this is maybe we can put a little entertainment district right here. Yes, this is going to be very good. Now, I did mention it might be nice to get some transit operating in this area. That is going to be a challenge. I'm certainly up to it, but looking at the time of the video, I might hold off today. Maybe that'll be the next video. We've got to be nimble, and I certainly don't want to be respectful of everyone's time. And I know that you get a video that's an hour and a half long, that could be a challenge. So we'll get the water infrastructure more or less following the right-of-way. Keep it in public property. Now, I can tell you, in today's world, we're seeing the reliance on, hotels and those sorts of amenities really impacting cities. I know that in the city I work in and surrounding communities, hotel tax is a huge source of local revenue, and I know that that's one of the first things that got hit during the pandemic. So I'm really looking forward to a day when things aren't quite as shaky there. And this is a little bit of an outlet for that. So appreciate you watching. I hope you're enjoying this. I'm sure you'll enjoy it a lot more once we actually get some zoning in. So why don't we do that? First, let's start out. I mentioned I want to have a small entertainment district so that people can have a club to go to or something like that. So leisure right here. Let's widen this. So I was looking, and I am quickly approaching 4,000 hours of playing this game, which is awesome and scary at the same time. I picked up this game day one. I've been enjoying it ever since, but it's amazing how much time you can sink into this game and have it feel like no time at all has gone by, at least for me. That's one of the really fun things about this game for me. So these are some of our first districts, and I'd really like your help naming them. So I think I might do a couple things here, now that I think about it. So tech frequently needs good access to the airport, so I might put in a tech district. So maybe the Foggy district will be tech. Forest Heights. So let's see. Do high tech here. We will do tourism here and here. And then we have our one way to get across. We're going to add another way in the future. That's going to be our trolley system. But for the time being, let's get this going. The moment you've all been waiting for. And this is going to be a monster district. I would love if the community were based or had a pretty significant tourism base. I feel like it's a very attractive community. There's no reason why it couldn't be a major tourist destination. So we need to figure out how we're going to get across the water with this infrastructure, and I don't want it to be overly obtrusive or ugly, but it might be a little ugly. So knowing the type of area that this is, we know that we're going to need a strong police and fire presence. So I'm going to put that right at the entrance, and I'm putting this here because they will also be able to go across and serve these areas up here, and I don't think that we really have a lot in terms of fire and PD presence. You can see these are filling out very quickly. Hopefully we get something over here. We're also going to need to get this up the hill, but I think that we can accomplish that using a mix of power lines and windmills. And I like to do that just to minimize the number of power lines that I have up here. So we have our cable car system over here. That would be a fun way to get across. We could have a cable car just kind of going across the river. But for the time being, I think we're going to leave it just like this. Could also put a roundabout here. And I think I actually might do that. Keep traffic flowing. I don't really love that this is just dipping down like that, so I might try to raise this up a bit. Make it look a little bit more natural. I kind of wish the riverbank, yeah, but I need to not terraform too much. It's very expensive. And we are finally going to be connecting up over here. Might throw a temporary power line back here to bridge this gap. Same thing back here. Gonna temporarily get these connected. We can certainly eliminate those in the future. Let's see, does everything have power? Turn our airport on. Power? Oh yeah. And I think we're looking good. Let's speed up the simulation and get this place going. In the future, we're going to want to put down some more tourism specific park type features. But for the time being, I just want to get this thing growing. And if you recall last time, we did quite a bit over here. Oh, I was wondering why it wasn't growing over here. We never zoned it. So this was residential before. Let's fill it back in with residential. And that is our biggest need right now, is residential. So I'm kind of curious. Yeah, all of these have the capability. Everything in this zone. The main downtown BC has the ability to zone up, but we have quite a few residents that are not upzoned, and that might be something to look at in a future episode. See that we have quite a bit of value in this area, but there's something wrong that's preventing these from zoning up. So that might be something to look at very, very soon. Again, with another area that we didn't complete the zoning in. All right, well, we've got it now. I thought that was kind of curious that this wouldn't fill in, especially considering all of the pedestrian activity that you're seeing coming from the lower part of the hill. Oh, wow, that's increased now. Now that we have these connections, we actually could, and maybe this is where I will wrap up. It might be fun to have a pedestrian crossing across the river as well. Now these things are incredibly expensive. I know that I've applied for grants for some of these sorts of amenities for years at this point. And the reason I'm applying for grants is they're just not really financially feasible without them. These sorts of ped bridges. The good news is if you live in an area with more than 100,000 people, you have what is called a metropolitan planning organization. And what that type of organization does is actually provide federal funding for transportation infrastructure. And that's all transportation infrastructure, not just roads. And they specialize in infrastructure like ped bridges in one of the programs. So that's what I've been applying to. So a lot of this stuff, you have to really think about it for years. And that's what we end up doing, planning ahead, coming up with ideas, costs, and looking years ahead at what we might be able to do to make it feasible to do a project like this. And that is one thing that makes this game so special. I don't have to wait years. I'm gonna just cheat. I just don't like the way this looks. So I just pulled it over. All right, much better. I know I keep saying one last thing. I feel like Billy Mays, but wait, there's more. There's no way to cross that road right now. So I do think it might be valuable to actually modify this trail a little bit to be able to provide that connection. Added bonus, we get to zone a little bit more residential, which is a dire need in the community. Because it is a fast-growing, desirable community to live in. Let's make sure we do a complete zone there. Okay, look at all of this pedestrian activity. It's really exceptional. Really pleased with that. So you have all of these pedestrians going back and forth across this very ugly pedestrian crossing right now that we will try to improve some by making it crazy. Let me take a beat. Oh. And try to improve this a little bit because it's pretty rough. Okay. I think that'll not connect, so that won't work. It's still seeing this as a lower crossing. I think I might just not be able to do some of the... Whoops. just not able to do some of the things with pedestrian access with Move It that you're able to do with roadways, and that's fine. That looks significantly better. You have a ton of ped traffic. And the nice thing is this is now a direct connection to downtown. I am going to leave the stoplights here. I'm okay stopping the traffic to allow the pedestrians to travel back and forth to the cable car. We now have a direct connection to this major office complex. And, that's a very good thing for these folks here. We'll do just a little bit of beautification before we end. All right. So we have this area filling in. We have our airport. Let's see how full this plan is. 2 people. Awesome. We do have a garbage problem here, so that's something we'll need to take care of in our next episode. That's not surprising. We are a long ways away at this point from any of the garbage facilities. I don't see any traffic problems here though, so that's good. And I don't see any traffic problems over here. Let's take a look. Certainly is heavy. There's only one way in and one way out, so that'll be something we need to remedy in the future. Still hovering in our mid 80s for traffic flow, so that's good. Certainly some issues to remedy. But for the time being, I'm pretty pleased with the way things are heading. Now we've got some harbor activity happening over here. Not yet, but hopefully soon. And we're starting to see some of our leisure buildings fill in finally. So with that, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking the video, and if you want to continue following the journey of Bluffside Crossing, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you are notified as soon as I release new videos. Once again, please let me know what you'd like me to name these districts. I have the IT district, it's the Foggy district. I think we can do better than that. We have Forest Heights, one of the districts that we have for our tourism specialization. We can do better than Forest Heights. Lynch Square, again, better. We can do better than that. This is our leisure specialization, and then another tourism specialization, Robin Square. Let's do better. What can we name those? And another thing that I would like to do is I'd like to get some airport call letters and get those placed up here. What should we call the airport? We could be boring and go with something like BCX or something, but let me know. I'll leave these questions down in the comments, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. And in the next episode, we'll do a little bit of cleanup on some of these things that we've built and work on some transit. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.